We will deal today material balance in mineral processing. In the earlier lectures, I told about the concept that is required to develop material balance. Now, material balance is required for several purposes. One of the purpose could be to take a stocks of inputs and outputs and to identify the losses. Another important use of the material balancing is to develop the flow sheet. Flow sheet will exactly tell us the flow of material, the amount of material that is flowing from which way to which way. So, for all these purposes material balance is important, and this material balance under unsteady state, as we have seen in the basics, say input, it could be either kg or kg per hour, or it does not matter, minus output, that is equal to accumulation. However, for a steady state operation or in continuous system, for example, if you have in continuous system, at steady state, obviously there will be no accumulation, and as such we have input that is equal to output. That is the basis of material balance. Now, we have seen from the concept that in several mineral processing operation, from a single feed we have gotten two products. That is, we will be developing a sort of two product, that is feed. This is where here the plant, then plant output in fact consists of concentrate and tailings. As I said, the middlings do not form the output of the plant. Inside the plant, yes, inside the middlings are further circulated, so that they can join either concentrate or tailing, but the plant output is concentrate and tailing, and concentrate that is sent for metal extraction plant. Sent to metal extraction plant, where tailing it is dumped. Now, let us say for input and output we can say tons of feed, if we denote MF, we can say tons of feed per hour or kg per hour, or whichever way, that should be equal to tons of concentrate, let us denote by MC, plus tons of tailings. Let us denote it by MT. So, as such we have MF that is equal to MC plus MT, and let us say this is our equation number 1. Now, let us consider that F, small f, is fraction of metal in the feed, is fraction of metal in feed. What this amounts to, you can also call F is the metal grade in the feed, whichever way you want to say. Let us say small c is the fraction of metal in the concentrate, is the fraction of metal in the concentrate, and T, small t, is the fraction of metal in tailing, fraction of metal in telling. You can also understand the way that F is the metal grade in the feed, small c metal grade in the concentrate, and small t is the metal grade in the telling. So, the following balance will also be applicable. So, F into M into F, that will be equal to C into MC plus T into MT. This is also valid. Now, here we have made the balance in terms of the metal in the feed, concentrate and telling. Now, for your information, let me tell you very clearly over here, that though I am using the term metal, but mineral processing does not separate metal. Mineral processing separates particles containing mineral, and that mineral has the metallic value. Remember, we do not, in the mineral processing, metal is not separated. Now, the question comes, why am I using the metal grade? I could have equally used the mineral grade. The fact that we are interested in the extraction of metal, so analyzing the feed, concentrate and telling in terms of metal, it has a value, because other than metal everything is the gang. For example, in Fe2O3, iron is the metal and oxygen is also the gang, because it has to be removed. But when you talk of the mineral grade, then it is a different story. You can totally talk, say the mineral grade, for example, of Fe2O3. So, that point should be understood. Clearly, I will say that we do not separate metal in any mineral processing operation. The objective of mineral processing operation is to increase the metal grade of the ore. That is the objective, and metal grade we are telling because we are interested in the production of metals, not mineral. That is where. That point should be very well understood. So, in this perspective, the equation 2 is in fact the total metal balance based on the metal. So, by equation 1 and 2, by equations 1 and 2, we can obtain, say, mass of feed upon mass of concentrate that is equal to mf upon mc, that is equal to small c minus t upon small f minus t, and let us call this is equation number 3. Now, we can define now, because we are interested in the recovery of the concentrate. So, plant will be assessed in terms of the recovery of the concentrate. So, plant recovery that is equal to C into metal grade in the concentrate upon mass of feed into metal grade in the feed. Metal grade or the analysis of metal or whichever way into, of course, you have to multiply by 100 in order to get plant recovery in percentage. Now, say in the lecture on measurement and units, you recall, say we have derived a relationship between weight percent solid and slurry and pulp densities. So, I am just reproducing here because I will be needing this expression for development of further quantification. So, we have developed for example, percent x, that is wet percent solid, we have gotten this particular expression, say 100 into rho s rho m minus 1000. Remember, here water is used as a medium to make a slurry or pulp, divide by rho m into rho s minus 1000. I will write here rho s is the density of solid, density of solids Here you must be careful in the units kilogram per meter cube, because I have substituted the density of water as 1000 kilogram per meter cube. Rho m is the density of pulp or slurry, density of pulp oblique slurry. Let us call this equation is number 5. Now, we also derived that mass flow rate, you recall, say mass flow rate of dry solids in slurry was m, which is in kilogram per hour, that was equal to F into rho s, rho m minus 1000 upon rho s minus 1000, where here F is the volumetric flow rate in meter cube per hour, and that is why you get m also in kg per hour, or we can also write down m, that also we written, that is equal to F rho m percent x upon 100 again in kilogram per hour. So, let us call this equation is number 6 and this equation is number 7. Now, in all mineral processing operation, as you recall in the concept, there I have said that water is invariably used as a medium to make the slurry. Not only to make the slurry, water is also used for several purposes. Say the purpose of water, say number 1 purpose, to transport solids in the circuit, that is to transport solids in the circuit. This is one of the important purpose of addition of water, because even in milling we use large amount of water. After milling, when separation or concentration technologies are applied to separate the particle containing mineral from the feed, then a large amount of water is used. Another second objective is that it also acts as a medium, for separation. Now, here the density difference between the water and the mineral is used to achieve separation. Now, for example, ball mills, they use as high as 35% of water for milling operation, 35% of water for milling operation, and the discharge of the ball mill is further diluted in order to separate underflow and overflow with the help of water. Now, most flotation operations they require, say, slurry which contains around 55, which contains around say 25 to 40% solid by weight. That means, again here very large amount of water is used. Some gravity concentration operations, some gravity concentration methods, they use as high as 55 to 70% of solids. So, I mean what I wanted to emphasize the fact that a large amount of water is required for mineral processing, and approximately you can think of that 20 meter cube per minute of water is required for a plant which is treating 10,000 tons of ore. So, you can imagine there is a large requirement of water for the purpose of separation operation. So, accordingly it is also important to find out the water balance. Now, say let us consider now say a hydrocyclone, let us consider a hydrocyclone which is fed with slurry which contains Fs % solid by weight and it produces, you know, one is the underflow and another is the overflow. Let us take underflow has U % solid and overflow has V % solids, right. Now, also let us consider say weight of solid, consider weights of solid per unit time in feed, that is equal to mf, in underflow let us say equal to mu, and in overflow it is mo. So, this is the weight of solid per unit of time in underflow and this is in overflow. What we are doing? So, at equilibrium condition of separation, again this balance must hold good, mf that is equal to mu plus mo, that is equation number, let us say it is equal to 8. Now, let us define a dilution ratio. Let us define a dilution ratio. Now, a dilution ratio is % water upon % solid, that is % water upon % solid. So, this will be equal to in general 100 minus % solid upon % solid. So, now we can say dilution ratio of feed, dilution ratio of feed, let us take it F S dash, that will be equal to 100 minus F s upon F s. Similarly, dilution ratio of underflow, that will be equal to 100 minus U upon U, let us say this will be let us call this is equal to say let us say U dash. Then dilution ratio of overflow, that will be equal to 100 minus V upon V, let us put it that is equal to V dash. Now, we can make it now say water balance on the cyclone, say water balance on cyclone, that will be equal to weight of water, entering the cyclone, entering the cyclone, that should be equal to weight of water leaving the cyclone. weight of water leaving the cyclone. Very simple input, that should be equal to output. So, we can make the following equation m f into f dash s, that should be equal to m u into u dash plus m o into v dash, and let us call this equation number 9. Now, say by 8 and 9 we can get m u upon m f, that is fraction of underflow in the, that will be equal to f s dash minus v dash upon u dash minus v dash. Let us say this equation number 11. So, we can calculate mass of underflow by this expression. If we know the dilution ratios, from that we can calculate. Now, say if say this is the case when percent solid is known, when suppose percent solids are unknown. So, if percent solids are unknown, then this two product balance, because what we have done, we have developed two product balance, feed, concentrate and tailing. So, two product balance it can be performed by using slurry densities. By using slurry density, that is, suppose by some way you do not know the percent solids, but you can find out the slurry density, then that balance can also emanate. So, a balance of slurry weight, weights that gives the following expression m f upon percent f s, that is equal to m u upon percent u plus m o upon percent v. Let us take this equation number 12. Now, we already know the percent solid expression. In the earlier I have written the percent solid equation, which was equation number 5. So, we can substitute that particular value for percent solid, then the following equation result. That means, now m f upon 100 rho s into rho m minus 1000 upon rho m rho s minus 1000, that will be equal to m u. Similarly, I have to do here say 100 rho s rho u minus 1000 upon rho u rho s minus 1000. Remember, rho m in equation 5 is the density of slurry. So, accordingly rho u is the density of slurry of underflow. So, I will write down here rho u is the density of underflow slurry. That point it should be remembered. So, similarly plus I have m o, that will be equal to 100 rho s rho v minus 1000 upon rho v into rho s minus 1000. So, all that one needs to simplify this expression, and once you simplify, you will be getting say m f, because everything cancels out, into rho m upon rho m minus 1000, that will be equal to mu rho u upon rho u minus 1000, that is plus m o rho v upon rho v minus 1000. So, that is what the expression we are getting. So, on simplifying further, what we will get? We will be getting say mu upon mf, mu upon mf, that will be equal to rho v minus rho f into rho u minus 1000 on rho v minus rho u into rho f minus 1000. So, that is what the mu upon mf, that can also be determined from the slurry densities. It is all that if you know the density of the slurries, one can find out the mass of underflow and so on. Now, let us take an example. So, now let us take say consider say separation of feed from ball mill. I will draw a circuit, say for example, this is the feed and I am considering 1000 tons per hour as the feed, and it is passed into hydrocyclone for separation, and as usual the hydrocyclone, it gives us underflow, and let us say underflow is 70%, contains 70% of original feed. And overflow, it contains 30% of original feed. So, the product of a ball mill is subjected for separation, and we got the two product underflow. So, what we have to do? We have to first find out what is the circulating load ratio. What is the circulating load ratio? Now, as you recall, the circulating load ratio means what? That means the underflow is circulated. That means the amount of recycle upon the fresh feed, that will give you the amount recirculated. So, I draw now the flow sheet with recirculation, that is the feed, we have hydrocyclone, then we have underflow, we have overflow, and the thing which is rather recirculating in the feed, so this is the called recirculation, because underflow is not a waste, it is further sent to the ball mill operation for further recovery of the particle containing mineral. So, what we have to find out this load, the recirculation load, because this is very important. This is particularly necessary when you want to determine the capacity of the ball mill, because the initial capacity of the ball mill, if no provision is given for the extra load which is coming from the recycling, then you may get the problem. For this purpose, it is necessary to know what is the recirculation load. So, easily we can determine say the simple balance, say 1000, that is equal to 0.7 into 1000 plus 0.3 into 1000. So, the fresh feed how much will be the fresh feed? Can you think of? Because the 700 tons is the underflow that will be recycled, 300 tons is the overflow that will be taken for the further operation. So, 300 tons is the fresh feed. So, 300 ton fresh feed is 300 tons per hour, right, because every time 300 tons per hour which is the overflow will be taken for further operation. So, every time you the fresh feed will consist of 300 tons per hour and the recycle feed that is 700 tons per hour. So, circulating load ratio that is equal to 700 upon 300. So, that is equal to 2.33. So, I mean this circulating load ratio is again a very important, because to determine the capacity of the ball mill initially, because once the ball mill is installed, now you cannot change its capacity. So, if you have not taken care of the recycling load, then the ball mill may not be able to mill the product to a size which you have aspired, or its capacity is rather over exhausted. So, for that purpose circulating load is necessary. Now, if suppose we take the same data earlier, I mean whatever we have taken over here. Now, if for example, if the feed stream, let us take it now, if the feed stream it contains 35% solids by volume, 35% solids, remember not by weight, it is by volume, and 40% water is recycled, 40% water is recycled, then calculate the concentration of hydrocyclone products. So, now here what I have done, we are now recirculating water, because we can also recirculate the water also, as we have recirculated solid, we can also circulate water. Why not? Because water has to be conserved. So, now here it is given to you, say density of solid is given to you at 3.215 tons per meter cube, that is given to us. So, solve the problem, calculate the concentration of hydrocyclone product. What will be the hydrocyclone product? That will be overflow and underflow. So, basis of calculation is 1000 tons feeds, 1000 tons of feed. Now, we can also do volumetric solids balance, say volumetric solids balance. How will it look? Again input is equal to output. So, feed that is equal to underflow plus overflow. Now, mind you, I am doing now volumetric balance. So, I have to know the volume of the feed, that will be equal to volume of underflow plus volume of overflow. So, volumetric solids balance is feed equal to underflow plus overflow. Now, mind you, this is the volumetric balance, that means we are balancing the volume. So, again here feed is equal to underflow plus outflow. So, what I have to do? I have to make now determine the volume. So, 1000 tons per hour is the feed. If I divide by 1 upon its density, which is 3.215, in fact that is meter cube upon ton. So, that has become now the volume. So, similarly I can do underflow 700 upon 3.215 plus overflow 300 upon 3.215. So, that is how you will be doing the so called volumetric balance. Remember, to divide the weight by the density, you get the meter cube. So, if we do that, then we will be getting say 311 meter cube, that will be equal to 217.7 meter cube plus 93.3 meter cube. So, now we have to find out say volume of water in the feed, volume of water in feed. So, volume of water in the feed, that is equal to 311, and you know it contains 35% solid. So, this has become 65 upon 35, that is equal to 578 meter cube. Similarly, I can find out now volume of water, in underflow. You know 40% is recycled. So, that will be equal to 0.4 into 578. So, that makes 231 meter cube. So, now we have to find out the concentration of solids. So, I can find out now say solids concentration in underflow, solids concentration in underflow, that will be equal to now 231 into 100 upon 231 plus 186.6, that is equal to what I have done. I have done here say volume of solid in underflow, volume of solid in underflow, and I have divided by total volume. So, this comes, if you solve, this will be equal to 55.32%. Remember, it is by volume, it is not by weight, it is by volume. So, I have to find out now volume of water, in overflow, that will be equal to 578 minus 231, that is equal to 347 meter cube. So, solids concentration, in overflow, volume percent, that is what we have to find out, that will be equal to 93.3 into 100 divided by 93.3 plus 347. So, this is equal to 21.19%. So, that is how you will be calculating the so called the solid concentration. So, what I have illustrated today is through water balance or through solids balance, one can determine the various parameters that are required for the operation of the flow sheet. So, if you have some questions, you can ask and I will try to clarify those questions.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have some questions. So, how will we calculate plant recovery from metal grade only?
Well, in the lecture, I have derived a formula where you can calculate the plant recovery when you know mass of the concentrate and mass of the feed. Now, suppose if you do not know the mass of concentrate and mass of the feed, then how to calculate plant recovery, that is your question, right. So, in the lecture what I have derived, I derived plant recovery R, that was equal to mass of concentrate upon mass of feed into grade of concentrate upon grade of feed into 100. That is what I have derived. Now, in many situations, suppose this MC by MF ratio is not known to us, then how to calculate plant recovery. Now, for that, you recall in the lecture I have given this balance, metal balance, that is F into MF, that was equal to small c into MC plus T into MT. And also we know that MF, that is equal to MC plus MT. This is also known to us. Now, from this, let us take this was equation 1, this is equation 2, this is equation 3. Now, say from equation 3, we note that MT, that is equal to MF minus MC. Let us put this equation number 4. Now, I can replace MT in equation 2 by equation 4. So, I get now F into MF, that is equal to C into MC plus T into MF minus MC. Now, here well you can, this is the capital F, just a correction over here, this is a capital F, does not matter as long as we are clear. So, now it requires a solution, now it has to be simplified. So, if I simplify now, I can write down now F into MF, that is equal to C to MC plus T into MF minus T into MC. Now, F into MF minus T into MF, that is equal to C into MC minus T into MC. Now, I take MF out, then I get F minus T, that is equal to MC C minus T. Therefore, MF upon MC, that is equal to C minus T upon F minus T. Now, this expression if I take 6, now if I use equation 1 and 6, say by 1 and 6, I can replace now MC by MF, and if I do that, then R will be equal to small c upon F minus T upon C minus T into 100. So, that is how you can calculate the plant recovery if you do not know the masses of the concentrate or feed. That is what you have to do. You have to replace the mass ratio of masses by grades, which is possible by utilizing the mass balance and metal balance. Both if you combine, you will be getting this expression. Now, for example, if I want to give an example, so let us take say C is 0.3, that is metal grade of the concentrate, metal grade of the feed, let us take it 0.05, and metal grade of the tailing, let us take it equal to 0.02, then I can calculate R. R will be equal to 0.3 upon 0.05 into 0.05 minus 0.02 upon 0.3 minus 0.02, of course, into 100. So, if I solve this thing, I will be getting around 64%. That is how you can also calculate the plant recovery if you know only metal grades. I think that should be clear.
Sir, does concentrate contains gangue? Please explain.
In fact, you recall when I was telling you about the concentration technologies, I have said that you recover particle containing minerals. In fact, the key point to remember in case of all mineral processing operation, we do not concentrate mineral or we do not separate mineral. In fact, we cannot separate mineral. We separate particle containing minerals. We can separate mineral only when the liberation technologies are such that all the particles are with either fully minerals or fully gangue, but that is not the case. So, we have the varying proportion of mineral in the particle. So, we recover the so called particle containing mineral. So, with that means let me explain once again. So, if I have say this particle, I have several particles over here that I am recovering now. All I have recovered in the concentrate. Let us take say this is the fully mineral. This particle also full mineral. Now, this particle we could recover, this was the mineral and this is the gangue. Similarly, we had recovered also this particle, this is the metal or this is the mineral and this is the gangue. This is the mineral of which we are interested in production of metal, and another situation is that, for example, we have recovered this sort of situation. This is also mineral and this is the gangue and this is pure gangue. Now, situation number 1, if you recover only these two and forget about all other things, say in a feed you recover only particle containing 100% mineral, then your concentrate will consist of that of the mineral, and in that case the metal grade of the concentrate will be that of the metal grade of the pure mineral. Now, if you do that, then what you are doing, you are unnecessarily losing these 1, 2, 3 particles. They also contain a large proportion of minerals in that. Now, it will depend upon what is the mineral under consideration. If the mineral is valuable, now for example, in case of chalcopyrite, the grade of the feed is only 5 to 10%. So, in that you like to recover almost all particles containing mineral. Even particle which contains let us say 10% of mineral, your effort would be to recover that, because it is the value of the metal that will be deciding, because you are losing the economic front, you are losing it. So, what you do now, you recover now all these things now, you recover all these and call now this is my concentrate. Of course, this is the tailing. Now, when you recover this particle which contain mineral and call it as a concentrate, now your concentrate consists of what? Mineral plus gangue. If you recover only these two, then your concentrate consists of pure mineral, you are right. Then in that case, but then you will be losing so many mineral which has a very high metallic value that you do not want to do it. So, that is why a concentrate will always contain mineral plus gangue. So, it is always better to say that in all mineral processing operation, we recover particle containing minerals. That will give you the feel that there are particles which contain different proportion of mineral, and that is why we talk of metal grade of the concentrate. So, in that case metal grade of the concentrate can never be equal to metal grade of the pure mineral. Similar is the case with the tailing also. In tailing also, in some situation, for example, you imagine this is the particle now. Now, that particle has only this much as the mineral, which is not possible to recover. So, it has gone into tailing. So, similarly, you have tailing will also consist of gangue plus particle which contain mineral. However, the effort would be that metal grade in the tailing should be very, very low. So, your effort should be as much metal to recover in the concentrate as possible. Other way around, your effort should be to recover as much particle which contain mineral as possible. So, as such, the concentrate will always contain mineral plus gangue, and so tailing will also contain gangue plus mineral. However, the proportion of mineral will be very, very less. So, that is the important thing to remember here. And the key to remember in almost all mineral processing operation, you always perceive that you are separating particle containing minerals, you are not separating minerals, because the product from the ball mill, it has particles containing different sizes, shapes and varying amount of minerals in the particle. So, if you remember this particular concept that you are separating particle containing minerals, then you will never have a doubt that concentrate will consist of only minerals. It is a particle containing minerals, and from economic purpose you like to recover as many particle containing minerals as possible, because you cannot stop your concentration operation only on pure mineral, which is not economical true. So, that is what the important thing is. Again I repeat, we concentrate particle containing minerals. That is the key of mineral processing operations.
Sir, what is two product balance?
In a two product balance, now well, you can also make three product balance or two product balance. Now, when we say a three product balance, let me tell first of all the product balance. Now, say feed within the plant, it produces concentrate, it produces middling, and it produces tailing. This I am talking feed separation within the plant, but since now, so this you can call as a three product formula. You can develop also material balance within the plant for this, but then it is a unnecessary wastage of effort, because middlings are further recycled. The middling will always join will either join concentrate or either tailing, they are further subjected to concentration operation. So, either they will go there and there. So, the plant output, I am not talking within the plant, I am not talking output of the plant, it will always have two product, that is concentrate and tailing. Middlings are not the product of the plant, they are the product within the plant, they are circulated within the plant. So, for all calculation purposes, the output of a plant is important, which is the concentrate only. So, that is what the two product means.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.